Good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Plan Ahead, Finish Strong, Unlock the Keys to College Success Masterclass. I am Regina Robinson, founder of Suited for Success College Planning Services, where we have been helping families like yours successfully win the game of college admissions for the last 15 plus years. We've helped students gain over $25 million in scholarships and grants. We have these master classes like you on tonight. We also host a spring break HBCU college tour every year, which is now live. And we also have our VIP College Bound program where we work one-on-one in cohorts, small individualized groups to create a roadmap for you to navigate winning the game of college admissions. I am the proud author that Amazon ranks #1, my book, Winning the Game of College Admission. So if you don't have it, you should have it. They have scholarships in there, sample essays in there, checklist items in there, and your roadmap through the college process. I always tell parents it's the next best thing without actually having me, but you have my brain inside the book. And so I am a proud graduate of Bowie State University, in case we have any Bulldog parents of my undergrad, and a proud graduate from with my master's degree, of course, from Georgetown University. So go Hoyers! If we have any Hoyer parents or students or future Hoyers in the building as well. So again, we thank you so much for being here. You can get the book from our website, or you can get the book from Amazon, and the QR codes on the slides. I think you should be able to see them. In the left-hand corner of every slide, you will be able to scan that code and it takes you directly to our book. The right-hand side is a picture of our book on the screen. The left-hand side is a QR code to actually gain access to that book. Hopefully you're able to see it. It's at the bottom of the screen. So again, that's just a little bit about myself. Anything else, I promise you, you can Google, you can go to our website. I'm not going to bore you about my bio. I am a former high school educator, also a college professor, and now my hat is CEO of Suited for Success. So I focus on helping my babies get through the college process with confidence and ease and get into their top choice schools. So tonight's agenda is all about 5 strategic moves for you guys to be able to help your students, or for your students to navigate through the college process. The #1 key is going to be college admissions, all about what you need to do in researching colleges. #2, your story matters. Their essay is the one place they'll be able to share their story. #3, one size does not fit all. SAT and ACT, and does test optional actually be the best purpose for you? #4, show me the money. We'll be talking about scholarships and financial aid. Last but not least, we'll be talking about beyond the yard, which is college visits, the importance of going to actually see your colleges. So let's take another poll. Well, actually, I did take the poll already. I was asking you guys if you had already did rep your school. I'm sorry, rep your grade level. And most of you said you had either a junior, some of you had seniors. If you're just popping in, we were asking what grade levels your students are in. And so most was, I believe 2 might have been 2026. The other students were class of 2027. Remember, this masterclass, as you saw us mark it, is for 2027, 2028, and 2029. 2026 parents might want to go back and catch our fall masterclass that we did in, I think it was October when I did that one. That was geared to seniors on what they should be doing last minute or getting done now. So that might be a masterclass that is better suited for you. So let's continue moving forward and talk about #1, college admissions. What does it take to start researching colleges? Here's a timeline of where you are and things that you should be doing. So as an 11th grader moving forward in the process, of course, you should be starting to take your official SAT and ACT, narrow down your college list, deepen extracurricular involvement, start drafting your college essay, of course, and explore financial aid options so that come senior year, you are ready to move forward. So this is a timeline at a glance. You can get our overall checklist of this that we have on our website where it allows you to see all of your grade levels, whether you're in the ninth, the 10th, the 11th, and 12th, and you can use them as a check off list for you to be able to navigate through the process. Or you could take a quick picture of that screen too. Here's the key thing in doing research is knowing the difference. What schools, here are the three categories that colleges in that college admissions process is evaluated on for schools. There are likely schools because no school is safe. The college admissions process is way too competitive now to categorize a school as actually being safe. Nothing is safe anymore. But likely just means your stats are well above the school's average. You have the GPA, you have the test scores, and that makes it a likely school for you. But again, you don't want to say safe. Target schools or your stats are closely matched. So let's say a school says you need a 950 and you got a 930 and their GPA is a 3.8 and you have a 3.9. So you kind of balance off having those couple of points less on the test because you've made it up in your actual GPA, which makes it a target school. Now, keeping in mind that means the acceptance rate is 40 to 70%, which then allows it to be more of a likely school. Okay. So that's one of the things you want to make sure that you are focused on and that you are tuned into. Now, reach schools. Here's where I share this because the majority of the schools on students list, parents, hear me, are reach schools, which makes their college list unbalanced when it comes to acceptances, when it comes to awards, meaning money. And so we try and make sure one of the things we do it with our students at Student for Success, they must have a balanced list. They cannot have a list of 7 or 10 or 8 or 9 or 11 schools that are all reach and then think that that's a well-balanced list. They have to balance it. We give them 1 or 2 reach schools and the rest must be likely and target. Now, let's say a school has a GPA of 3.9 and your student has a 4.1 and then they have SAT scores of let's say 1300 and your student has 1350. Now, in your mind and your student's mind, you probably would say that school is a likely school. But here's where education matters. It's a likely school in theory, but it is a reach school in reality if that school says their acceptance rate is 30% or less. So let's say it's 10% or 5% or 4%. It becomes a reach no matter what your test scores and your GPA are because it's a competitive game out here. And so when a school has a low acceptance rate, it's how you position yourself to stand out outside of those two categories that will decide whether you move from reach to target to possibly likely. And for some schools like Harvard, like I'm repping their shirt today, for some schools like Harvard, who gets over 37,000 applications every year with only 7,000 maybe spots to give away to their incoming freshmen, they are a definitely reach school for majority because first and foremost, you have to go through a two-step process of interviewing. So you have to not only for them to say, we preliminary like you, so now you have to schedule your first interview. Then you have to make it through that interview. Then they say, okay, now it's time for your second interview. Then you have to make it through that interview to even get a yes. So keep in mind, some schools are really reach, and that's how you categorize that. Now, then understanding now that you would have your balanced list, you understand which schools are going to go on your list. Now you have to decide, what admissions plan am I going to create? Or what admissions plan will I decide for all of my schools? So there are 4 categories: early action, early admissions, early decision, and regular decision. Okay. So the first one, let's dive deep and talk about early action. So early action allows you to get in early, apply early with no binding contract, but it does get you put in for getting your yes back and possibly getting in for additional money in that pool, right? That's early action. Early admissions means you apply early with some having a binding commitment to attend if accepted. You can apply and you can only apply to one ED school. So early admissions, early decisions, very close. But I always tell students, you change with the wind. So unless you're a legacy of a legacy of a legacy of a legacy, you want to be careful doing early decision and early admissions, because if they're a binding contract, you want to make sure you are key about that when making that decision. Some early decision schools allow students to apply before their senior year, which is less common. But that early admissions, again, you can only apply to one school ED. And if that school says yes, you must resend all of your other acceptances and choose that school. It's a binding contract. Regular decision means whatever the application closes, you're going to get your application in. The deadlines usually extend later. Here's where all of our Suited for Success Shining Stars, that's in our VIP crowd. We call them Shining Stars, so you always hear me reference Shining Stars. They go in at early action. Why? You get your applications in early, you get back acceptances. Every one of our seniors in our class of 2026 cohort has already applied to all of their colleges. Some of them have already started getting acceptance letters from their colleges. Woo! We're excited over here on this side. Some schools automatically give out money in their acceptance letters, so they're collecting the dollars already. And so that's what it's all about. So key deadline to mark for my 2027, and then any parents coming behind that. Have your students apply by Thanksgiving at the latest. Our Shining Stars is November 15th at the latest, and they all beat that date by, some of them were done at the end of October, some were done the first week of November, but they all beat the November 15th date, and they're all starting to receive acceptances. So keep in mind, early action is the key. Next, benefits of early planning when it comes to your college planning process. More time to refine essays and applications, better chance of securing scholarship money for sure, ability to explore multiple options, including your likely target and reach schools. I always say the students who begin in junior year to plan and prepare are the ones who have an opportunity to take meaningful action, meaning retake any standardized tests, improve their grades if need be. And that's what planning does that's what being proactive instead of reactive does for our high school students. I want to share a testimony with you from one of our shining stars, Evan Crawley. And so I will let you hear him talk all about it. Nathia, please let me know once it starts playing in the chat if you can hear it. I hope it plays. It played for me. I hope it plays for you guys.
What's up, y'all? I am Evan, and as you can see, I'm here at the illustrious Morgan State University. Go Bears! I just had to give a quick shout out to Suited for Success. I would not be here if it wasn't for this program. 3 years in the game, from 10th grade up until I graduated. Ms. Robinson has been pushing me to be the best me I could be, from academics to applying for scholarships. Y'all, if you haven't started applying for scholarships, I'm telling you right now, apply for them. You're gonna need the money. But in all seriousness, she provides every opportunity possible for us to succeed. And as you can see, I'm at the school I wanted to be at. So I'll cash out on the next one. But yeah, shout out to Suited for Success.
So that is Evan Crawley. He's doing very well at Morgan State University. We are so, so proud of him and all the success he is having there. And it's about, again, planning early, but you heard him talk about the importance of scholarships. That is going to be key in your student getting into college, your student being able to offset the cost, your student going to school without going into debt. Scholarships are key. Let's talk about crafting your unique story. So first things first in your essay, and parents, please hear this so that your student can write their own essay. Be authentic and tell a story only you can tell. The college admissions process, people want to be able to resonate with you. They want to learn something about you. I always tell our students, I have them, they know, they laugh at me. I say, listen, I need to feel the bang when I read your first paragraph, your intro. If not, we're not moving forward. And by the time we get to the end, I need to feel like fireworks have gone off. Like I know so much about you from this one story, or I'm able to relate to you from this one story. But the goal is start with a bang and end with fireworks, and all in between builds on the meat of your beginning and your end. And if they can do that and write then I say they've written a stellar college essay. Okay. Focus on a specific experience or a moment that had an impact on you. So the students need to dive deep, especially juniors now. They can start to, I always say, take a sheet of paper, right? Brainstorm a list of different things that have happened to you or experiences that you've had, and then start thinking through those and outlining those. You will be able to quickly go through and say, no, no, no. So here's how we do it. And I'm going to give you guys the golden nugget here. Here's what we do with our shining stars. I will give them the Common App questions, and then they have to craft 2 introductions from 2 different questions. They send it to me. I review it. I ask them additional questions if I have, and I'm able to tell them which one they can tell a compelling story about. It's all about, again, reading an introduction to see what they have so that you can know if you're going to decide to go any way further, like meaning the person wants to read all the way through. You have to entice them. Third item, show, don't just tell. That's the key. Most students will tell in their essay, but they haven't shown anything. It's show, don't just tell. Connect those 2 dots together. Use descriptive language to draw the reader in. And remember, this is your chance to share something about yourself that you cannot, that a person that's the admissions person saying yes or no to you cannot read from your transcript or your application, but they can discover it about you by reading your story. Next thing was the brainstorming. I just talked about that with the writing the piece of paper. Allow your voice to be heard. Don't be afraid to gain feedback from friends, parents, and teachers when writing your college essay. I always tell students, if you've written your essay and no one has reviewed it, you've not written a good essay. Hands down, you've not. And then I always tell my parents, if you're going to be the reader of your student, don't be critical and don't write it in your voice. Let them use their voice, give them constructive feedback, and have grace. When crafting your college essay, remember to open with a bang, we said that, and close with fireworks. And remember, your essay is the one chance for you to share something your grades and test scores don't reveal about you. So those are key things when you're brainstorming and coming up. Here are key components when they're editing their essay. Now that they've written it, they've brainstormed, they got their idea, they've chose their question. Now they have it all together and they want to try and start editing it. Ensure sentence flow is smooth. Review your content. Make sure it makes sense. Connect your thoughts and ideas. Read your essay out loud. That is so important. And then check for grammar and spelling mistakes. All key components in making sure you have written a well-rounded essay, a structured essay, and an essay that you can be proud of. Now, want to share another family. This is Evan's mom. And so wanted to share because I feel like parents always need to hear from other parents so that it can give you that sense of confidence as a parent. I'm a parent of a former college student. My daughter graduated in May. I'll tell more about her later, but debt-free. And so this is Evan's mom sharing about her experience and how she felt as a parent. Let me hit the start. Here we go.
Hello, everybody. How is everybody today? My name is Precious Carter, and I am the parent of Evan Crawley, who was in Students for Success for several years. Now he's matriculated as a freshman into the great Morgan State University, home of the Bears. I wanted to come in and say that Student for Success really did help to prepare my son. It held him accountable. It helped him to research what he really wanted to do. And not only that, it also helped me. I don't know how it's been for some of you who may have gone to college and just kind of navigating through the process with my son. It gave me a little anxiety, and I just want to say that Miss Regina was there to help me through the process, even down to help me to understand the financial aid information. And even now, he still is in contact with my son. So we started off with going on the tours, the college tours. My son did one college tour and got off the bus, and Regina was not Miss Regina anymore. She was Auntie Regina. So you are in good hands with a wealth of knowledge, and I am just truly grateful and honored to for God to place her in our path. And now she's family. So you are making the best choice and the best decision for Suited for Success. You can't go wrong. Right choice.
So I hope Ms. Carter was confidence to you as a parent that you're doing your best, that you're doing the first step by even joining tonight for this masterclass, trying to gain resources, trying to get information, because the process can be overwhelming. The process can be confusing. And every year it's changing, and every moment it's changing. They just sent out, we're on, as counselors, we're always on a database of new updates, just sent out something new that they're going to be shifting to possibly in the admissions process. I'm like, okay, what else can we be changing, right? But that's what we're here for, to make sure all of those things stay in the know, and sharing it. We share on our newsletter, we share on our social media. And so always be connected to resources for you and your students. So agenda item number 3 is one size does not fit all, right? The SAT and the ACT, the SAT might fit some students, the ACT might fit others. Some might have both as a fit, but it is something that you need to do. So I always tell students how to decide which test to take. Many schools are now test optional. However, a strong score can still enhance your application. Please don't take the easy way out and say, I'm just going to do test optional. Take a test of both to see which one you perform better on. So it is a rule. All of our shining stars must take a SAT and ACT. The juniors now are going to be taking an official SAT and ACT coming up. Once they take both of those exams, I review their scores. I tell them which one they're better at, whether it's a SAT or ACT. Schools weigh them both the same. And so from there, they then start focusing their attention on one test as they continue to prepare and plan. They take the test again in the spring of their junior year, going into the summer, then one more time in the fall, so that they can get their best and final score if it's necessary. Some students find the ACT's faster pace challenging, while others prefer its science section. So it is a give or take of what's for your child. But here's what I say: you never know what you're great at until you try it. So that's why parents, encourage your students to take the SAT and ACT. Most of their schools are going to be focusing on the SAT if they're here on the East Coast, and the West Coast ACT. So parents, I'm telling you, focus on both first and then eliminate one, so that your student will know which one they're best at. Here's disadvantages. Some schools may require test scores for merit-based scholarships or specific programs, even if they are test optional for general admissions. What does that mean? Here's the golden nugget. So, if you are applying to a school and they are test optional, you need to make sure they are not test optional with penalty. That means your child does not qualify for full merit aid, especially if you need that in order to support your student in going to school without going into debt. So parents, please make sure you are making the best decision. We look at our students' scores, we look at the schools, we look at what they need, what they don't need for their major, and then we decide whether we submit scores or do test optional. Test scores can still bolster your application if they are strong, and especially if it's a competitive school. For some, that might edge you out over someone else because you have good test scores, you have a good GPA, maybe not a strong extracurricular background, but you do have strong scores and you do have a strong GPA. So don't wean out getting rid of your test scores. Upcoming test dates. Parents, my juniors, my 2027 parents, take a screenshot of this. Saturday, December 6th is the next SAT date. If you want your student to be on track in this college process, this is the date you want them in. You need to register by November 21st, which is in 3 days. So don't wait. If you can, do it tonight or tomorrow, now that you're on this masterclass. The ACT is February 14th. You register by January 9th. There was another ACT test date, but we've already missed that one. So if you want your students to be in a great process at the preparation point as a junior, these two orange test dates, December 6th SAT, February 14th ACT, are your key test dates. Now, forbid if something comes up and you miss it, the next dates are underneath March 14th for the SAT and April the 11th for the ACT. But again, we're about planning and preparing, and we're about being reactive. So, no, proactive, so we don't have to be reactive. Okay. So, December 6th, February 14th. I want to share from one of our students, Adriana, who's now at North Carolina A&T State University. She is a sophomore this year. And here's what and the reason I'm sharing her too is because I want students to understand when you go to college from high school, it is a transition time. Everything is not the same. It is totally different. She graduated from Elizabeth Seton High School, and she goes to A&T as stated. Adriana got all A's freshman year, all A's, both semesters, dean list, both semesters. So students, it is doable. So I'll share from her.
Hello, everybody. My name is Adriana Adams, and I will be attending North Carolina A&T State University, the illustrious. I just wanted to give a shout out to Students for Success. Without this program, I don't think I would be where I am right now. I got into most of the schools I applied to, gotten money from most of the schools that I've applied to, and all this is thanks to Ms. Robinson for keeping me on track throughout the college application process, having me start early, which is very important when applying to college, is start early, don't wait, do early action. So she kept me on top of that. And she just has helped me so much during the process with questions I had, because it can get confusing. If my parents had questions, she helped my parents with questions. And she's been an awesome mentor, and I'm so happy to be able to say that I am a part of the City for Success program. Thank you, Ms. Robinson. I love you. Bye.
And I don't pay my students to say this. I love them though. But notice key things that she said to her peers that's coming behind her. Start early, planning and preparation, and do early action because you'll know early, right? And then ask questions. So Adriana is a nursing major at A&T. So if you're interested in nursing, you know that there are different criterias as a nursing major. So some schools are direct admit and some schools are not. And so that was big for her in knowing and in her process. So it's all about having the right resources, having the questions and asking the correct questions and not being afraid to ask questions. So students, if you hear me, if you're live, if you're watching this recording, ask questions. The fourth key in the agenda is show me the money, scholarships and financial aid. Parents, can I tell you this section is key, but it is not key to your student. Most students have no idea how much schools cost. Most students have no idea whether they qualify for any aid from the school. Students are just looking at schools based off of popularity, who went there last year, who was talking about it the most. If it's your alumni, if it's not your alumni, as much as I would have loved for my daughter to, in the very beginning, go to Georgetown or go to Bowie, she started at McDaniel College because it fit her. It was the right school for her. If anybody knows, McDaniel College is a private liberal arts college here in Westminster, Maryland. The school is over $60,000+ a year. My daughter went there freshman year, sophomore year, junior year. We paid absolutely no money. And in fact, she got refund checks each year. It's all about show me the money, right? And so she wind up transferring after her junior year. And she went to my alumni, Bowie State University, Bulldogs for life. So in the end, it might not, in the beginning, I would have loved for her to go there. She didn't choose there. She chose McDaniel, and then she wind up full circle back there, graduated from Bowie State. Didn't pay anything for her to go to Bowie State. She graduated with high honors from Bowie State University. So she is now a college graduate, debt-free, already have her first job. And so that's what it's about when you are getting ready for college and you are preparing and positioning yourself. So when students are looking at schools and parents, here's where you come in. Does those schools offer merit-based? Are they merit-based friendly, generous? Is something you want to know. But merit aid is based off of academics, artistic, or athletic achievement. It is really based off of two things, your GPA and your test scores. That's where merit based comes in at. GPA and your test scores. You want to make sure your student has the GPA and the test scores. In our program, our Shining Stars, the preliminary of their list, the likely target and reach schools. Remember, I told you, it's all about looking for the schools that are merit-based, friendly, and generous, whether the students qualify for those schools to get merit aid, which is why you heard us say we have gotten over 25. It's way above that, but we kind of only started tracking within the last 5 years. Just imagine if we had been tracking all along for 15 years, but it's $25 million in scholarships and grants. Why? Because we help our students focus on finding the schools that are the right fit schools for them, that are merit-based, friendly, and generous, okay? Need-based is based on your family's financial situation. Need-based comes out of FAFSA. FAFSA is a free application for federal student aid. You must submit a FAFSA every single year that your child is in college and before. So parents, let me say this. If you're a class of 2027, 2028, 2029, or whenever you are watching this and beyond, what year may not have come yet, your FAFSA cannot be done until your student is a senior in high school, and it's back to opening around October 1st. So always October 1st of your student's senior year is when you apply the first time, and then every time thereafter for the duration of the time they're in college. I want to dispel this myth for the families or the parents who are saying, well, I make too much money, so I'm not even going to bother applying for financial aid. Please don't do that. If a school has endowment money or private money from donors or whatever that is attached to a financial aid package and you don't have one, meaning you've completed the FAFSA and you have not, they are not going to call you up and say your student is the perfect candidate for all of this money, but you didn't complete the FAFSA. Go ahead and do it and we'll give them the money. No, they're going to move to the next student on the list and give them that money. So parents, please, do the FAFSA. Let the school decide that you make too much money. Don't you be the decider. Here are several types of scholarships, and these are important. Parents, I don't know about you, but again, you heard me say my daughter went to school debt-free. Please apply for as many scholarships as you can. You do not have to wait to senior year to start applying for scholarships. Your students can win scholarships as early as middle and elementary school. So let's start stacking the money. Merit, we've already talked about. Private scholarships are anything like banks, donors, organizations, nonprofits. Then you have financial need-based, which we talked about, that comes through the FAFSA. Depending on your state, you have senatorial, legislative, and delegate. Please apply. My daughter did, and she got them. You have bank scholarships. Who do you bank with? Do they offer scholarship money with whoever you bank with? Stores that you shop in, department stores, Kohl's, Foot Locker, and then food stores. You got McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A. All of these different places have scholarships. Tap in, families. Sororities and fraternities. You do not have to be a part of a sorority or fraternity to win scholarships. My daughter won some of the sorority ones. And then your church. If you attend church, most churches have scholarships. These are resources for you to tap into to get the money. I always say, show me the money. It's right here on this page. It's right here. And then here's the links. Here's the links right here that you can go to different websites and start applying for scholarships. We have a scholarship membership that we send out at least 50 to 100 plus scholarships every single month to any family that's subscribed to our scholarship membership. So all of these databases here, plus more, we go look for scholarships for you. We create the list. The list is not tailored to one person. The list is tailored to grade level and scholarships. $19.97 a month. Parents spend that in one visit to Starbucks. One visit, but will opt out of joining for $19.97 a month. If someone was offering this when I was going to college, I'm sure it would have been a no-brainer for my mom. And it was definitely a no-brainer for me to start doing this when I was getting ready, even for my daughter. So all of the scholarships we was winning, I was tracking and putting them into my database. My database didn't even exist when my daughter first went off to college. But I saw how many families were struggling and how many families were in the resource Facebook groups of her school talking about financial struggle, how they might not be able to bring their kids in all these different groups. And I'm saying, my God, if they were just doing scholarships, they could offset this. 1997 a month. I'm not trying to convince you because my daughter already went debt free. So I'm just trying to tell you that the scholarships are out there and over $20 million go unclaimed every single year in scholarships because parents are not doing them. And I know why. You don't know how to find them. You don't know how to pull them all together. You don't know how to apply. Well, we give you the list. You don't have to go find them. You don't have to organize them. They're organized for you on a spreadsheet. We send the spreadsheet out. All you got to do is open it, click the link, see if you qualify. If you don't, delete it off the spreadsheet. Now you have a running list for that month of which ones you and your child need to sit down and do. And here's a bonus. All of my Shining Star families know to create scholarship night in their house. We all have what we call scholarship night. They're on one computer, their child's on another computer. If it's a two-parent household, everybody's on a computer. And everybody's applying to a scholarship. So that at the end of the day, it's coming out of your bank account, parents, or the debt of the students on their shoulders when they graduate. So again, we would love to have you in our scholarship membership, but we're not trying to convince you, but you know you spend $20 in one visit to Starbucks. I know because I do. And so you can get, we love when the parents who are on our membership send us emails saying, oh my God, my daughter won or my son won this particular scholarship that we got off of your list or these scholarships we got off of your list. That's the for us, that's the thank you right there because we know they're like, when it was only 1997 and they got $1,000 scholarship, I paid for your membership for 5 or 10 years already. So parents, it's a no-brainer when it comes to an exchange. There are 3 types of financial aid that comes from you completing the FAFSA: grants, work study, and loans. Grants are awarded on the basis of need. Work study is a part-time employment for students on college campus. And I always tell students, if your campus has employment, go for it. They work around your schedule. They don't make you miss any classes. If you have to study, you don't have to come to work. They work with you. But it's an opportunity for you to network, connect, and build relationships while you're also at school and make a little extra money. Loans are money that's borrowed that you must pay back. So parents, please, please only borrow what you need. Okay? Only borrow what you need. Don't borrow a penny more because you have to pay that back and the interest is usually high. Here are the 2 types of loans that you can get from completing the FAFSA. Subsidized Stafford loan, which is a loan for which the government pays the interest while your child is in college. 6 months after they graduate, they must start paying that loan back. Unsubsidized loan, the government does not pay your interest while you're in college. The loan accrues interest the entire time your child is in college. And then 6 months after they start paying back the loan. But the entire time it's accruing interest. Now, bonus, here's how you can offset that. I tell my parents all the time, just pay the interest monthly and then it won't compound all on top of them when they graduate. So you could be paying that interest. It's usually like maybe $50, $60 a month, as opposed to when they get out, all of that plus what they owe plus the interest that will be tallied on. That's a lot on the shoulders of our students. Number 5, beyond the yard, going to visit colleges. This is so key. Parents, I always say, you would not buy a house without seeing inside first. You just wouldn't. We want to know if for us moms, we want to know if the closets are big, if it's going to fit all our shoes and clothes and purses. For the dads, they want to know, is there a man cave? Is there a basement? You wouldn't buy a house first, so why would you be willing to invest over $20,000+ a year, possibly, on a college that your child has not had the opportunity to see? And then you're asking your student to create a college list, whether it's likely target or reach, or whether it's a school that fits them in culture, environment, the major and all of that, and they've not even seen what a college campus looks like. That's blind leading the blind, right? So students, it's important for them to get a chance to lay eyes on what a brochure or website could not show you. So going to the actual campus will give you that visual. The brochures, yes, they look good. The YouTube videos, yes, they look good, but those are all of the great assets of the campus. You need to see for yourself up close and personal, your student, whether the culture, the environment, and the atmosphere fits for you. The campus culture matters just as much as a major. So being able to feel like you're home matters more than you just saying, okay, they got my major. Oh, I'm so excited. No, no, no. Yes, they have your major, but probably hundreds, there's over 4,000 schools in the United States. Probably thousands of other have your major as well. Does the campus culture and environment fit you as a student, right? In October, I had a chance to walk Harvard University's college campus, right? Because I go and visit colleges all the time. Just got back Friday from going to visit a college in Pennsylvania. I mean, in Boston, another college in Boston. Every college offers a different college experience. Your student needs to see if they fit or feel like they're home at these particular colleges, because not every school will feel like home. Not every school will feel like it's the right choice or the right environment. So visiting campuses is absolutely key. I always tell students, you'll discover your aha moment. You heard Adriana went with us on the college tour. She discovered her aha moment at A&T. We're walking around. Now, mind you, we went to 7 schools. We get to A&T and she's like, oh my God, Miss Robinson, we don't really need to go to no more stops. We can just go home. I'm going to A&T. I know I'm going to A&T. This is home for me. She had that aha moment. And look where she is. Her aha moment was a truth for her because she's there and thriving. So it's all about the aha moments. Evan went on that same tour, but then Evan also toured Morgan, and Evan also toured other schools. And when he got to Morgan, it was his aha moment. And he's doing very well. It's going to be playing in a production. He's a musical theater major. He's in a production this coming week and have been in plenty of productions. And so it's your aha moment for your student that they need. Face-to-face opportunity to ask questions. They can ask student ambassadors about what they like about the school, what they don't like, what's the environment like, what's it like on a weekend? Does everybody go home? Does everybody stay on campus? Is there something for everyone to do? These are things or questions that they get to ask. And then some colleges track demonstrated interest. When you go to visit a college, make sure you fill out a card with them or make sure they know that you've come to visit the campus, right? So that you get an opportunity in case that college has demonstrated interest. You have some schools, Golden Nugget. You have some colleges that if you come and visit, they give a scholarship. Come on, y'all. We want the money. So, but you better ask, oh, is there any visiting scholarships because I came for the college visit? You need to ask, are there any college visit scholarships because I'm here and present? Always ask. And then here's another bonus on top of a bonus. Excuse me. Every college charges application fees, anywhere from $25 to $150. If you visit a college campus, do not be afraid to ask if they offer application waivers. And if they do, get the code. Ask parents. There's power in the ask. Have your students speak up and ask. There is a must. You don't want to pay all those application fees when you can get them for free. We have our upcoming 2026 Beyond the Yard HBCU tour. If you haven't heard about it, the buzz is out. The tour is open. We are literally half the bus is full. We only have half the bus left. Every year we sell this tour out. Every year we have a waiting list where parents do not come off the waiting list. Every year the students go and get their aha moments. Every year some students go and say, I'm not really sure college is for me. At least that's what they're telling their parents. But then when they come back and we drop them off, the parents say, I don't know what happened on that tour, but I'm happy I sent my student because they came back a different person. You heard Miss probably say, Evan went calling Miss Regina, came back, I'm Auntie Regina to all of them on the bus, right? But it's an experience for them where we want them to see firsthand what our HBCUs have to offer them. Because again, we don't want our students picking schools sight unseen and having them pick in the blind. We want them to be aware of what's available to them. We want them to see the culture. We want them to see the environment. So we'll be going to Clark Atlanta, Spelman, Morehouse, A&T, Central, Norfolk State, Hampton, and Virginia State, all over spring break. And so you can get those details right on our website. And I want to share from one of our former students who's now thriving at BSU, who was one of our college tour students. So let me let you hear from Antoine.
Greetings and humble salutations. My name is Antoine Sullivan, a sophomore with a major in political science. I went on the college tour back in 2022, and one of the stops that we made was right here at the illustrious Virginia State University. Over the time, I decided that I would attend Virginia State University. And here at Virginia State, I have had so many opportunities. I've been privileged to work on political campaigns. I've been privileged to attend the Congressional Black Caucus, and I've also been privileged to do so many other things and make so many wonderful connections. If you're looking for an amazing HBCU to attend, please consider the Virginia State University, where greater happens here.
Yes. And so notice Antoine's shirt say, be the dream, right? And so we want to be the dream for our students to be able to say, here's where I dream of being, and now I just need the tools and the resources to turn it into a reality. For me, it was decades ago, don't want to say how long ago. Suited for Success literally started with being on the yard during a college tour. And so we ran our first college tour over 16 years ago, maxed out the bus. When we got back, parents said, what can you do now to help our students now do all of the process? Literally, we came back on the bus and that's where it was. And so we are continuously, year after year, being the dream, allowing Beyond the Yard Tour to be the dream for students to say, I know I want to go to college. I don't know quite how I'm going to get there, whether it's a first generation student like myself or just a student whose parents have attended college, but they've never been on a college campus because maybe they didn't go back to homecoming with their parents, or maybe their parents don't go back for homecoming. Whatever the case might be, we want our students to be able to lay eyes on college campuses, because how do you ask your student to create a list of schools when they have never, ever seen a school? And we don't just push only HBCUs. We want students to, yes, see HBCUs, but also get exposure to go to PWIs as well. That way, they have a deciding factor to decide which one is for them and what will be the better environment for them to be successful at. That's the key. That's the most important thing we have for them. So let's take a poll. You guys, I got to get technology together here. I had it up at first, right? But I don't know how to, once you get off of okay, here we go. So I'm going to do my poll and hold on. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, so I want to launch this because my question for you is, after what you've learned on the 5 strategies, the 5 moves you have, how confident do you feel about navigating the college admissions process now? Whether you have a senior and you're still doing it, whether you have a junior, whether you have a freshman, whether you have a sophomore, how confident have you rocked out to doing this? Or moving forward in this process, because it's key, because the process will come. We had some parents on who said they're actually 2026. So we know the process is not, some of them are in the thick of things right now, or they're doing things right now. And some haven't even started doing anything because their kid isn't ready yet, they believe. They're saying, well, my kid is just a sophomore, my kid is just a junior, so we still have time. Here's what I want to say to every family. If you have a junior, so if you're a senior and your kid hasn't started anything, you are so far behind. I'm not even, I can't say it no other way. You are in the woods and you're going to have to, it's almost like you're in the deep end and you're trying to fight for your life. That's where you are right now if you have not done anything. If your kid is not 90% done with everything, meaning 90% done with all their applications, you are still drowning. because this process, especially if they're not going to stay in Maryland and they're looking to go out of state, you are in the deep end drowning. Now, if you have a junior and you're saying, okay, I got time, I know we're going to be able to get this done, we're going to get started in a couple of months, you are going to be in the deep end drowning. The college process does not start senior year. The college process starts in ninth grade. It really does. And if you wait to senior year, then you are behind in getting everything and preparing so that you don't have to be reactive. You can be proactive. Okay. So 29% says very confident, 71% says somewhat confident. Great. All right. I'll stop sharing. Uh, if you, I would like to take this opportunity for those of you who need more assistance, who need more help, or need more questions answered. I would like to just share with you a little bit about our VIP College Bound program, which again, we have helped our shining stars for the last 15 plus years gain over $25 million in scholarships and grants. I tell parents all the time, we're not new to this. We are true to this. Our success is, I never try and oversell our program because our success sells it for itself. But I always want to introduce it to parents in case it's something they know they need. And it's not what it is what you can expect through our program. We have an exclusive online database that handles and houses every college in the United States. So when you hear me talk about merit aid, we know exactly what the merit aid of that school is, what the GPA requirements is. We know exactly what the acceptance rate is of that school. So that's how my students know if they got a well-balanced, likely target or reach, because I have them plug it in and run the report for them. The students are in small cohort Zoom sessions for a small cohort group as their graduating class, so they don't mix. So class of 2027 is all together, 2028 is all together, no mixed grade levels. They meet on Zooms. We record all our Zooms. We have the family consultation in the very beginning because every student is unique to our program. Not one student is alike. And so each student gets their own individualized roadmap before they're in a cohort. We do an academic profile review. You don't know how many parents come to me and say, my child is doing amazing. They're like, oh, I'm like, what's their GPA? Oh, it's such and such. Then I get I said, well, make sure you provide me with the transcript. Get the transcript and it is not their GPA. Then I have to show parents, here's how you read this because you were reading it based off what you can see maybe first quarter. By third quarter, they had dropped grades. They were nowhere near what they were like first quarter. Here's how it brought them down by the end of the year. Here's what they're looking at, and this is what the college is going to focus on. So we do a complete academic profile review. We also work with the students on creating their balance list. They have schools that they want. I have schools that I recommend to them. 90% of our students go to the school I recommended. Crazy, right? So they have their own list. Some of them come to me that I'm recommending schools. 90% of them choose the school I recommended. Love that about them. Academic resume template. We make sure they have their academic resume ready for their colleges, for their recommendations, for their teachers and counselors. We support them in requesting their transcripts the right way from their teachers and counselors. We also do college application and scholarship review, meaning they cannot submit without my review first. We work with them on beginning to end on their essay. I do not write their essay for them. That is unethical. But I make sure they write a stellar college essay. Now with AI, I make sure they're not writing an AI essay, meaning AI has written their whole essay. So we are weaning that out. Also, you heard me say earlier, talking to them about whether they're a great SAT or ACT test taker, or in fact, test optional is the best avenue for them. We also work with families on completing the FAFSA if they need assistance with the FAFSA. We rather a parent do the FAFSA correct than do it wrong, because you never will know you did it wrong, but you know you won't get any money that you could have been leaving on the table had you did it correct. So that is all that's encompassed into our program and so much more. We're there to support our students. We're there to make sure they become self-advocates. I wear my high school teacher hat, then I wear my college professor hat with them, making sure they understand both sides. And then I'm there to support the parents, to make sure the parents understand what their role is and how they can be of support and get all of their questions answered as well. Our class of 2025 cohort earned over $5 million by themselves. They were accepted into a total of 60 college acceptances. Here's why. Our students can only apply to 5 to 7 in our program that we support them with. Some of them do above. Some of them do 10. Some of them do 15. Some of them go outrageous and do 20. I tell them all the time, you can only go to one school in the end. Our highest student earner was $906,000 between all of their scholarships and grants, just shy of $1 million for one student. That's our highest student earner in 2025, from the class of 2025. Our VIP College Bound program, if you click this code or the link in the feed, the price that you see there, we are offering parents a discount code. You would just need to put in VIP 500. We are giving every parent who showed up tonight here live on the masterclass a $500 scholarship off the amount that you see on the website when you scan. Now, if you're watching the replay, that VIP 500 will not work for you. It's for the parents who showed up live. We will actually edit this part out of the video. So it's for the parents who are here live. If they need that support, it is there. Here is our QR code for that. If you have questions and you're like, well, wait a minute, I don't know if I need the full program. I might just need this. My kid is a go-getter in this. I might just need this. I might just need that. You can book a discovery call with me. Please, even if you have questions and you want to book a discovery call, book a discovery call. I will tell you about you tell me what you need. I'll tell you about the different programs we have, because we do have a la carte services as well, and don't just have our full program. You could do our a la carte services as well. But the goal is click the discovery call link. It's 15 minutes. If you do nothing but come and get a nugget, you're getting a nugget. It's a free call for you to get on for that 15 minutes, and you can decide which program by going over it works best for where your family is now, whether it's our VIP program or whether it's any other program. If you're a class of 2027, 2028, 2029, it's our VIP program now, or our VI or our a la carte will open after January for the class of 2027, because you've not started separating the process yet. If you have a class of 2026 and you happen to be here, our VIP program is not open anymore for you. It's only the a la carte program. We do not offer the VIP program anymore because, as you heard, all of my students are done. I don't do the full program anymore at November, but we can do any of the a la carte services that you see that is specific to something that you might need. Your feedback matters. Please, please, please. We value your time. We value that you came here. And we are always trying to make sure that I make these master classes as informative as possible, give you everything you need. So tonight we are asking if you would click this code or click the link in the feed and complete the survey. It takes less than 2 minutes. I'm going to leave it up on the screen while we do Q&A. Please, please, please click here. Take a few minutes. I'll take a brief while you take a few minutes to complete the survey. And we're going to send you a free ebook, The Ultimate Guide in Researching and Choosing the Right Fit Colleges. We give it to you free for you to be able to take with your student, read through it, highlight, have all your extra steps that you need to start researching schools. So if you'll take a minute to click the link, scan the link, I believe it's in the chat as well. You can put your survey in. It's less than 5 questions. It's quick.
When is the best time for the junior to start? I mean,
They should have already started. So I'll give that answer if that helps to make it real clear. They should have already started. So if a student has a junior, they should have already started.
oh, okay.
Because now, remember, we're 2-3 weeks away from the first test they should be already registered for, which 90% of the juniors that's not even here tonight, that hasn't even heard me say that, will miss that test date because they just don't know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, my daughter, where she goes to school at, she already taken the, I guess it's the PSAT, but she hasn't taken the SAT. She's taken the PSAT. Or maybe
Yes, they all take the practice one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so every student has taken the PSAT, whether they took it in 9th, 10th. They should have taken it in the 11th because that's for national merit money. For national, international merit qualifications. And
Mhm.
so that happens in junior year only when they take the PSAT. Their scores are looked at for national merit. And so now, though, she will be needing to take we will be set, if she was with us in the program, we'll be setting up her testing plan for college. So when is she taking it the first time? When she's going back the second time? When's going to be her last and final time? She'll have her schedule. So she can already be preparing for that and practicing and
Mhm.
prepping and mentally positioning herself.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep, we'll already start looking at preliminary schools, which ones she's interested in, which ones I recommend for her, based off of where she is, talking about her major, going through all of those areas. We would already be starting that as a junior because here's what happens. She is a less than, this is November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. She's 9 months away from the process being fully open. Every application almost opens on August 1st. 95% of the colleges open their application on August 1st. Students don't usually have an essay. Some haven't even taken official SAT and ACT yet. Some have no idea of their list on August 1st. Our students don't worry about those things because they've already done all of that.
Oh, okay. Okay. But like you said, it was a very informative, so thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Any other questions? Do we have any other questions? Again, I always tell families, no question is a dumb question. Please, by all means, ask any questions you have while you have me. And again, if you're not sure what part of the program works best for you, you can book a discovery call. We can discuss the options and get you everything that you need. Okay, last time, if you haven't done already, grab the survey code, jump in and do the survey. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for jumping on with us this evening. We hope this Masterclass was informative to you. We hope you got something. We hope you learned something. We hope you're going to use these resources to take your family and move you forward. We look forward to any of your families any of the ones who have 2027, 2028, 2029 who want to join us in the VIP and become one of our Shining Star families. We welcome you. We will be excited to have you. And if you have any questions, again, don't hesitate to book a discovery call to ask any of those questions. Go to our website. We have plenty of free resources on there. Again, I told you guys the best next thing, if you can't have me, you can grab a copy of our book, Winning the Game of College Admissions. Again, you won't have me to go through the steps, but you will have the steps to do it on your own if you prefer to do it on your own. I tell families all the time, college admissions process is not like it was 20 something years ago. Parents, please do not try and do this the way you did this for you. It is not the same anymore. Please don't set your students up for failure and have them come senior year and they've done absolutely nothing because some of them don't know what they need to do. And you can't tell our children to do this without how to do this. And so that's what we're there to do, to help them go through this process with confidence and to support you so that you can better support them. So thank you again for coming tonight. We wish each and every one of you luck. Thank you for all of the class of 2026 families. Good luck to you and your seniors. We know that you will get some yeses in the mail, and wherever you decide to go, shoot us an email, shoot us a message, and let us know where you and your scholar will call home for the next 4 years when you make that decision, because May 1st is coming around the corner. Thank you guys again and have a blessed night.